morning, millennials. Happy Monday. Welcome back to the Morning Toast. It's a beautiful Monday of day one of phase 2 in New York City. Hey, Claude, HYD.
Hey, Jax, I am good. I'm feeling like refreshed and also exhausted. It's a unique combination, one in which I'm really not used to, but I did a lot more than the average weekend this weekend, you know?
Yeah, same. I should be feeling refreshed. I'm mostly feeling exhausted. Like, I'm kind of feeling like the shot vibe today. The 28-minute shot vibe.
The shot vibe, the show in which we do not speak. I'm not there yet, but Jackie and I were finally able to get out of the city for a few days this weekend. We decided last minute to go to the Hamptons. Like other parts of New York are in different phases, so they're a little bit further along in terms of returning to normalcy, and it was just
it was stellar.
It was stellar. It was everything of the sort. Like, I definitely abused, my new privileges of, like, being out, sitting outside with a mask 6 feet on at a restaurant. I abused it. I got so drunk, like, every single moment I was in the presence of a bar. And I have absolutely no regrets. I'm just, like, tired. But, I don't know. I feel like yesterday was Father's Day, and usually I'm, like, cool. But, like, yesterday was, like, a really hard, terrible day.
Yeah, well, I think it was just like a hard day period between, going from such a high and like alcohol and then coming back to the city and getting back into your little cage here. It's just a lot. And I think it was just emotional. And we're coming off of just an emotional few months, and it's just a lot for one person to handle.
Totally.
So I think that's fair of you to feel that way. We did have a quite a lovely weekend enjoying phase 2 elsewhere, and now we get to enjoy phase 2 here. And I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start.
I downloaded the Citizen app, and it has really become just like my ear to the ground, because today they sent out like it's not just like a notification service. They also have like a little blog, and they like send out like details of things that they think that you should know. And today was just all about phase 2, and it was just so many things I didn't know. Like, salons are open, but you can't have a waiting room, and everyone has to wear a mask, obviously. Alfresco dining, sitting 6 feet apart, only outside. It's just, there were so many things that I didn't know. Gyms, unfortunately, are still closed, which is really hard for me, but I have a feeling I'm going to survive.
We'll be here for you. We will be here
Thank
for you. I would actually love to get a pedicure. So like maybe that's in my future this week. I don't know. It's also exciting. I really don't know like what to do first. I think alfresco dining would be first, but
I'm like scared.
Scared of what?
Leaving my house. Like, I've really grown accustomed to my little cage, my cell, and I don't want to leave.
No, I know. It's going to be like a shock to the
system.
Transitional. Yeah, exactly. So we got to ease our way into it. And I'm so excited, hopeful, optimistic, and excited about being in phase 2.
For those who are listening who might, live in a state that's way ahead of us, like, this may sound trivial, but you just don't understand like what it's been like, and just be happy for us.
Yeah, we're so happy. So just be happy for us. Anyways, we have a great show for you today. It's a very exciting Monday. We have so much to talk about. Like, it's phase 2, and we have so much to talk about.
Like, we got a peek at civilization over the weekend, and I just feel like I have a whole new perspective on the entire world and everyone in it. I also spent last night watching Just Mercy, which was our Toast movie of the week, which we will recap, and then we will also assign our next movie. And for those who have been listening to the Toast for the last few months, I did something over the weekend that might shock you. Because I finally finished Jessica Simpson's fucking textbook of a book. It was huge, 400 pages. It's like, I don't even know the last time I read something that long, but boy, was it worth it. And we will discuss that as well, because I have thoughts about it.
I'm so glad that you finally read it, that we can finally talk about it in all of its glory. I read 2 books this weekend, both fabulous books that I would recommend that we'll recap at the end. But I read André Leon Talley's The Chiffon Trenches memoir, and Gabrielle Union's We're Gonna Need More Wine memoir. Both so good. Can't wait to discuss.
Love that for you. So I feel like it's kind of a busy day.
Yeah, I feel like it might be time. I haven't laid eyes on the prize yet though, and sometimes that like fuels my participation in the show. So is Theodora around?
The prize man is with his father on a walk, and he's not here, so sorry.
That's so upsetting. I mean, I haven't seen him in days.
I think he literally just got back. I heard the door, but I
He
told Ben
could
not to come
feel
in.
the auntie's love.
He
Okay.
is just so perfect. But yes, I do agree. I doth agree. Let's jump right in.
To the Fast Five stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast.
And that's true, Jax, but if everyone could pan their screen to my left, you'll see today's sponsor, the Hush Blanket, which is absolutely everything of the sort and everything I needed in quarantine and beyond quarantine. It has helped me so much. So basically, Hush Blankets makes weighted blankets, which have a ton of benefits. They can help with anxiety. They can help you fall asleep longer. They keep you warmer. It's such a fabulous product. And I happen to have like the cutest one. Jackie and I actually both have the same one. It's the velvet blue one. Times are extremely stressful, especially with what's going on in the world. People are experiencing stress and anxiety about many things, and their goal at Hush Blankets is to provide a sense of relief. The Hush weighted blanket will help you relax, stay calm, and it'll feel like a big hug. You can have a deeper sleep, you can stay asleep longer, and it is also proven to help people who experience anxiety and stress. I can 100% attest to the fact that like it works. It's crazy. Plus, Hush Blankets has a give back program where they donate 1 in 10 adult blankets and 1 in 5 kids blankets to charities and shelters in need. It's been a huge part of their brand since day one. They understand that not everyone can afford a Hush blanket, but they absolutely deserve to experience a better sleep. They also have an 100-night guarantee where they return and exchange process is super easy. You have 100 nights to test out your blanket. If you don't love it, send it back for a full refund, no questions asked. If you feel like it's too heavy or too light, you can exchange sizes. So Jackie and I both have the throw blanket, but they have tons of different options in terms of size and in terms of weight because, people weigh different things. So someone needs something heavier, someone needs something lighter. It's actually the only one that I've seen that has adjustable and customizable weights inside the blanket. So if you want to get a Hush blanket, you can use the code TOAST for 10% off all weighted blankets at hushblankets.com. So the code is TOAST, TOAST, for 10% off all weighted blankets at hushblankets.com. Thank you, Hush Blankets, for sponsoring today's episode.
Love Hush Blankets. Okay, first story, some sweet news. Gabrielle Union's new Self magazine cover shoot was photographed by Zaya Wade. She says, "I'm beyond proud. Nothing but praise. Gabrielle Union looks stunning in the June digital issue of Self and has her stepdaughter Zaya Wade to thank." The Breaking In actress took to Instagram on Thursday to share several photos that the 13-year-old took of her for Self magazine. Quote, "Beyond proud of Zaya Wade shooting her first cover," she captioned the post. "She is a tremendous artist/writer, and I'm so happy everyone gets a glimpse of what she can do. Seeing yourself through a child's eyes is quite illuminating, and I'm grateful we got this opportunity from Self magazine." In a separate post, Gabrielle Union raved about the poolside photos from Zaya's shoot that didn't make the cut, but she was sharing them as well. I absolutely love the photos.
No, I mean, this whole concept is so cute. Like the fact that her stepdaughter is now like technically like a magazine published photographer when photography is obviously like a huge passion of hers. Like that is iconic.
Iconic. And it's a great way to get like crafty in the queue, setting up at-home photo shoots, having your family members participate, especially one with an artistic eye. I think this is so fabulous. What a great opportunity for Zaya. And the photos are amazing. So everyone wins.
I feel like recently, like when I've been reading or reporting on Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, it's like mostly about their parenting skills. And from what I've seen, they are like the world's best parents.
Yeah, well, since reading her book, I have like a whole new appreciation for her and her role as a stepmother and just as a parent in general. And it's not something she takes lightly, and she's really wonderful at it. And here's just another example.
Yeah, no, I thought this was like a very cool creative thing for her to do. And I'm just so excited. Hi, Theo. He's back from his walk. I'm so excited that like her stepdaughter now is like, maybe she'll get other gigs.
Yeah, no, this could be like the beginning of a big career.
It could be the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you. Wow.
It does feel so right to be here with you.
What did you think about her book?
I loved it. Like I've always like very much liked Gabrielle Union, like loved what she's about, love her films, but I got to know so much more of her personality, and she's so cool and just funny and with it. And she wrote a lot about her childhood, and it was so interesting. Like, I feel like she wrote more about who she was before she was famous than she did post fame. And I loved reading about every minute of it. She talked a lot about like being Black in Hollywood and all of the different like diversity in Hollywood. She talked about princess parties and how so much of like diversity in Hollywood is about like who you hang out with to begin with, you know? And she just spoke on so many different subjects in such an interesting and enlightening way. And I'm so glad that I read it and that she wrote it.
What did she say about Bring It On?
Oh, okay. She said like, well, she had like the nicest things to say about 10 Things I Hate About You. She talked about that first, and she said that it was really like it was like camp. Like the kids were all like going out together, such good friends. Everyone had such a good time. She said like the sweetest things about Heath Ledger, that he was just like such a great guy. And then she said Bring It On was similar, except that Kirsten Dunst was like younger than everyone. She stayed in the house with her mom while the rest of them, I think, were at the hotel. So her mom used to like have barbecues for the crew, but everyone would be like, where are we going after this? Because she was like still so young. So everyone was like,
so cute.
Yeah, everyone was really close, but Kirsten was a little too young to be so friendly with them because they were like going to bars and stuff. So that was the anecdote from that. But also what I thought was interesting is like whenever someone comes up to her from Bring It On, a lot of the times they'll repeat this line to her, which is, it's already been brought in. But that's not a line from Bring It On. It's from, I believe, Not Another Teen Movie. It's from a spoof of Bring It On. And so like, that's what, yeah. And she talks about how like perception is reality and people just assume that that's from Bring It On and that's her line. And it's not even in the original movie.
Oh my God, I totally thought it was.
Yeah. No, I didn't think it was because that's not how it was written. But everyone knows that one from Not Another Teen Movie where they're just like spoofing, Bring It On, it's already been brought in.
Interesting. I love that she spoke about like that time in her life. I didn't know. Some people like hate to, they love to shy away from like the thing that made them famous. And they like don't want to talk about it. They don't want to address it, like Hannah Montana, you know? But so I love when people lean into it because those are the stories like we want to hear.
Yeah, she's leaning into everything. She was also so honest about how she sometimes has felt like, you know, not wanting to help the person coming up behind her and, you know, feeling jealous, but also ultimately realizing that that is how, like, she was just really honest about like any thoughts she's had. And I thought that it was fabulous.
Oh, that's so fabulous. And so is her self cover.
Yes, and so is her self cover. And if you love a celebrity memoir, I definitely recommend Gabrielle Union's. And it's also a series of short stories, which is a great way to read a book. It's just like so snackable.
Yes, I agree. I love short essays.
Okay, our next story, just want to issue a trigger warning. We're going to be talking about sexual assault for this story and the next story. But Ansel Elgort is denying sexual assault allegations. He said, I have never and would never assault anyone. Ansel Elgort has denied allegations that he sexually assaulted a 17-year-old girl. Earlier this week, a Twitter user named Gabby shared a since-deleted post in which she alleged the Baby Driver actor had sexually assaulted her in 2014 when she was 17. She also alleged that he tried to solicit nude photos from her and asked to have a threesome. In a statement shared on his Instagram account on Saturday, he denied the allegations. Quote, I was distressed to see the social media posts about me that have been circulating in the past 24 hours. I cannot claim to understand what Gabby's feelings, but her description of events is simply not what happened. I have never and would never assault anyone. What is true is that in New York in 2014, when I was 20, Gabby and I had a brief, legal, and entirely consensual relationship. Unfortunately, I did not handle the breakup well. I stopped responding to her, which is an immature and cruel thing to do to someone. I know this belated apology does not absolve me of my unacceptable behavior when I disappeared. As I look back at my attitude, I am disgusted and deeply ashamed of the way I acted. I am truly sorry. I know I must continue to reflect, learn, and work to grow in empathy.
Woof. That is, that's just not ideal. And this is kind of, this was the first of a few where I think that this girl speaking out really inspired other people to speak out about their experiences with celebrities and non-celebrities alike. This kind of started a chain, which is really great. But in terms of Ansel Elgort, I just, I'm shook. Like, it's interesting that he responded so quickly and very informally as well, like in a notes screenshot. Like this, I just thought maybe he would I don't know, like go on The View, you know?
Yeah, or have a publicist statement. But I mean, I think taking straight to Instagram and talking to your fans is
a good way. I agree.
Yeah, is a good way to go.
I was reading the comments on his post just because I just wanted to like gauge the temperature of what people were saying, and somebody wrote a really interesting comment and was basically just like, just because you don't think you did anything wrong doesn't mean that you did.
That's true.
And it's like, I feel like in this situation, he just didn't bother to realize anything was wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
And like part of that is just being a celebrity and thinking you can do whatever you want.
But not like realizing how other people are feeling about it.
Yeah. And then just other people were coming forward that like they had spoken to him on like his weird private Snapchat, and like honestly the screenshots like were really embarrassing. He was like acting like a 2-year-old, like talking to children online. Like it was really predatory, concerning behavior, and like it was embarrassing for him.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good for him. My heart goes out to a girl named Gabby, because that's a lot to go through at 17.
I mean, it's very hard to speak up about sexual assault, especially when the person who assaulted you is rich and famous. Like, no one wants to cross that. That's like what the whole Jeffrey Epstein documentary was like.
Yeah.
Going up against like this rich and powerful person, and it's very intimidating. And I think it was really brave of her to share her story, and it inspired. I saw people commenting on the threads, just talking for the first time in their own lives about their own sexual assault. It was very brave, and it's just a terrible story.
Yeah, it's a terrible story. But similarly, Justin Bieber is refuting sexual assault allegations, saying sexual abuse is something I don't take lightly.
I would hope not.
Right. Justin Bieber has produced screenshots of emails and hotel receipts to refute a sexual assault claim posted Saturday by an anonymous Twitter user. On Saturday evening, a Twitter user under the name Danielle, who chose to keep her last name anonymous, alleged that she was sexually assaulted by the singer in 2014 when she was 21 and he was 20. The tweet and the account were later removed from Twitter. She alleged that she met Bieber while attending an event in Texas and claimed that she and her friends were invited back to his hotel where she was sexually assaulted without consent. Danielle did not identify the friends and has not otherwise spoken publicly about the claim. After the Twitter account was removed, Danielle was not able to be reached by people for additional comments. Justin Bieber said, I don't normally address things as I have dealt with random accusations my entire career, but after talking with my wife and team, I have decided to speak up on an issue tonight. He said, rumors are rumors, but sexual abuse is not something something I don't take lightly. I wanted to speak out right away, but out of respect to so many victims who deal with these issues, I wanted to make sure I gathered the facts before I made any statement. In the past 24 hours, a new Twitter appeared that told a story of myself involved with sexual abuse. And I want to be clear, there is no truth to this story. In fact, as I will soon show, I was never present at that location. He shared several posts on Twitter, including links to articles from the time period, in addition to proof of receipts and emails to deny these allegations. He also said, we confirmed with the Four Seasons regional manager that I was never on the property on March 9th of 2014 and never a guest on the 9th or the 10th. And I welcome all press to inquire with them if needed or wanted.
I mean, he fucking went in on those receipts, like those screenshots, like those are from fucking 10 years ago. Like he and his team, you know, Scooter Ron doesn't sleep. Like they did their fucking work. Justice for Selena Gomez, who's getting dragged into this when like her relationship with Justin Bieber. Oh, so he tweeted about her multiple times last night saying that they were together for the concert and like he was with her the whole night. So like now it's like she's a witness and it's like she had such a tumultuous relationship with him that like now she's being dragged into it in such a negative way. Like leave her out of this.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't see how she was, but it always comes back to the two of them.
Yeah. I feel really sad for, the girl because she's obviously like freaking out because like speaking up is such a brave thing to do, and then immediately like you have the Beliebers on your ass and then Justin Bieber like tweeting about you, like and I'm sure she's young, like any person would freak out and like delete their account. So I just can't imagine what she's feeling like right now. It's just not good.
No, it's not good, but he's not taking this lightly, as he says.
No, he is not.
Okay, next story, a little more happy news, a little more quarantine developments, because Live Nation is setting a drive-in concert series amid the pandemic. Tour promoter,
Ooh.
yeah, this sounds exciting. Tour promoter Live Nation has announced its first ever drive-in concert series in the US for July, months after the live music industry has been on lockdown. The entertainment company on Monday announced Live from the Drive-In, a set of 9 shows to take place July 10th through 12th in Nashville, Maryland Heights, Missouri, and Noblesville, Indiana. Brad Paisley will headline the show in all 3 cities, while fellow country artist Darius Rucker and John Party will also perform in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. Nelly will perform in Maryland Heights near St. Louis. So concert goers will be able to drive into the parking lots of amphitheaters, a maximum of 4 people per car, and will have 2 empty parking lot spaces in between each vehicle so fans can watch and party from their designated individual tailgating zones.
That sounds so weird, but actually, now that I think about it, it's like a tailgate.
Yeah, it sounds funny. I mean, it's something to do. It's better than nothing. And we were just saying how we would give anything to be at a concert these days. And so, honestly, a concert from the comfort of your own car where you have a seat, you have AC, like, I'm kind of here for this.
No, I totally love this idea. And I'm just about to say something so controversial. Like, maybe the most controversial thing, well, maybe not, but a very controversial thing. I love this idea. I just don't get why it's really being built around Brad Paisley. And I just love country music. I actually really don't like Brad Paisley. Like, I don't like his music. I don't like his vibe. I don't like when he hosts. Like, I get that he's like a staple of Nashville and like of country music, but like, I don't subscribe to that narrative. I'm just saying, shots fired.
Shots fired. I think that's fair. There's obviously Live Nation has done their research. They've spoken to the focus groups, and the focus groups are turning up for Brad Paisley, and they don't care whether you're there or not.
Well, I'm just saying that obviously didn't talk to me because like it actually like bothers me. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. There's also a jackhammer like outside my window. Phase 2. What's good? Okay, great. I'm glad you don't hear it. Yeah, no, I understand. Like, and honestly, I'm actually glad that it's Brad Paisley because I didn't see like a New York City edition of this concert series, where we all get in an Uber and go. So, so I'm not missing anything, and I'm happy for those Brad Paisley fans who are getting a little bit of the pays.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like, I'm honestly glad that it's him because now I don't want to go. You know, I would have had to fly to Nashville if it was like Luke Combs.
Oh my God, if it was Luke Combs, we would be like getting a rental car.
No, we would get an RV.
I wonder if they have, we can only have 4 people. They definitely have size requirements. Like, you can't put an RV like that in the middle of a concert.
Okay, what about a stretch limousine?
Oh, that could be. No, you only get 1 parking spot. It has to fit it definitely is a car that has to fit in a parking spot.
All right, so we'll get like a Suburban.
We get a pickup truck and lay in the flatbed and make a hot tub.
Make a pool in the bed of the truck.
Yeah.
Love that. This is actually a great idea. I hope that they do more genres, like maybe hip hop or pop, anyone but Brad Paisley. And I hope they do it in New York because I would definitely go.
Yeah, me and my Uber driver would just turn up. Like, otherwise, how am I getting there?
Yeah, Jackie doesn't have a license. That's true.
Or a car.
Right. That'd be fun. You would take your Uber driver out for a date night.
Love it. Okay. Are you ready for our 5th and final story?
Yes, ma'am.
Mamma Mia producer teases or threatens a 3rd film, saying it's meant to be a trilogy.
Oh my God. I feel like we've said this on the show before, and it was really met with a lot of backlash. But like Mamma Mia, the Amanda Seyfried, like Meryl Streep duo movie, like is the definition of nothing of the sort. Literally, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, Judy Kramer, a producer behind the original stage production, is threatening audiences with releasing a 3rd film.
Don't fucking do it. Don't.
Yeah, I'm like pretty anti Mamma Mia. And I think it stems from like this place of like, I live for a movie musical. Like, you could put anything in front of me, and as long as I can sing and dance along, like, I will love it. And there's just something about Mamma Mia that's just not it. And the music is fantastic. So I'm not sure what part of it isn't it for me. But it ain't.
You know what? I think that like I have this deep-rooted like childhood disdain for Mamma Mia. Like, now when I think about it, like, there was like my friend growing up who I don't really talk to anymore and we don't speak of her, but her and her family were like obsessed with Mamma Mia. Like saw it on Broadway and they was like listening to that shit in the car, and I couldn't relate because I'd never seen it because I have taste and I saw better things. And I feel like my dislike of this movie franchise like kind of stems from that feeling of me once feeling like an outcast, if you know what I mean. I don't know, I've been going to therapy. I mean, I only went once, but I'm feeling more introspective and I'm trying to like find reasons for things. So I think the reason why I hate Mamma Mia the franchise is because I felt left out as a kid when like I never like knew the songs.
Interesting. I have no explanation as to why I don't like it.
Right, it's very possible the movie's just garbage.
Yeah, and we also saw it on Broadway and we loved it. And then the movie came out and it was just not it. And I just feel as though we need to like speak up when things suck.
Yeah, no, we need to speak up. And you know what, most importantly, like we need to move forward. Like we need to stop making remakes and sequels and trequels. Just fucking write a new movie, okay?
Well, so the producer said she was meant to have been getting on with writing a third one during these months, but then she got hit with the COVID fog. I think one day there will be another film because there's meant to be a trilogy, you see. I know Universal would like me to do it. I had no idea that this was meant to be a trilogy. I didn't see the second one, so maybe that would explain how there could be a third one. And yeah, like the second one is like about a young Meryl Streep played by Lily James, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's important to know that I've never seen 1 minute of the movie or the second movie. I just know that it's bad because, like I said, I have taste.
Yeah.
I said what I said.
I
said what I said.
I don't know, but you know what? Like a lot, here's my positive spin on it. A lot of people love Mamma Mia. I don't know them, but they're out there. And they might be getting a third movie. And for y'all, I'm thrilled for you. That'd be like telling me.
I just don't want to sit.
That'd be like telling me Greatest Showman is meant to be a trilogy.
Oh, I mean, that would be fantastic. I just don't want to sit through like another press. I don't want to sit through like commercials and have to see the ads on buses and fucking see.
And on Bravo, like Luann and her daughter, like Mamma Mia.
Oh, totally. Like Luann, her daughter, Dorinda, her daughter, like all on a beach in Mykonos, like wearing overalls, being like, Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia 3.
So like I don't have to see the movie, but I can't not see like all the incessant press that they do. And so that's what I don't want to sit through.
I completely agree.
I said it.
Completely agree. You said it. I backed it up. Therefore, it is.
Therefore, it is. We're going to dive into our TV recap, and I also want to recap Jessica Simpson's book.
TV and book recap. Look at us. TV and book.
Look at us. Just a couple scholars. Okay, so let's do Jessica Simpson first. Let's keep it light. I know that you told me to read it forever ago, and I don't wish that I had read it sooner because I actually like enjoyed reading where I read it on the beach this weekend. So like I enjoyed the experience, and it was really so interesting. I know I've said this before, but I've always felt this like very kindred, deep connection to Jessica Simpson because we shared a birthday. And when I was a kid, like she was everything of the sort, and like I shared a birthday with someone who was everything of the sort, therefore by osmosis making me everything of the sort. And I just feel like this book really brought me back to that place of like being obsessed with her. And I learned so much about her. I mean, she spilled so much tea and she really didn't hold back when it came to Nick Lachey or John Mayer, which, you know, like kills me. And I just love her. And you know what? When I was reading it, I'm like, damn, there's a lot in here about her childhood. And normally I don't like that shit. I'm just like, give me the tea. I want piping hot celebrity news. But her life was so fascinating. She like grew up in the Bible Belt of Texas. They moved all around. Her dad was like a big pastor. And her whole life is her church. And that like, she's been through so much and she's like so beyond being that girl she was when she grew up. But her faith is like so strong, like how much she talks about God in the book. Like it's actually kind of cool how she really hasn't wavered in her faith.
Yes, I agree.
I just love her. And what I also loved was like when she spoke about, you know, newlyweds and she was like this ditzy, simple girl. She was always in on the joke, you know, people were laughing at her, but they didn't know that they were laughing with her. Like she was cashing in on being like silly. Like she's not dumb. She's actually very smart if you read the book, but like you said, she was just simple.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not she's smart when you read the book, but like she like obviously just like sometimes says like the first thing that she doesn't like think too hard about stuff, and then you get those iconic moments like Chicken of the Sea.
Yeah. Some of the most, to me, like best moments were obviously the celebrity stuff. When she cried at the Kennedy Center and then like Reese Witherspoon and all those women took a picture with her. Like I found myself literally Googling everything she spoke about, like
100%.
her appearance on Ellen, Teen Vogue cover with Nick. Like I just looked everything up. She should have provided pictures, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, in André Leon Talley's book, he provided pictures. But you know what I actually liked for Jessica Simpson's book? I liked Googling everything along with it because then you get like some accompanying articles, and it's good.
Yeah, no, I just like loved her. And honestly, when I think about her career as a whole, her like pop stardom, she definitely had more songs than I remember. Like when she was listing all these songs that were coming out, like they sounded familiar, but her pop stardom was very much like a blip on the radar because she was coming up with Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, who kind of seemed to outshine her. And in a lot of ways, like what she ended up doing with her career, which is the Jessica Simpson collection, which is $1 billion company, I just feel like she was meant to do that.
Yeah, but I think she also makes music like just for the fun of it. And also what I found so interesting was along the way in her career, how many like really distinguished people respected the hell out of her, like her relationship with Willie Nelson, and if she were just like this ditzy sort of girl, like she obviously has a lot of substance and real talent because along the way, so many people were so taken with her and her talent. Even when she was filming like Dukes of Hazzard, like Dane Cook was, everyone who met her like fell in love with her.
Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, really? Oh, Dane Cook is from like Employee of the Month.
Yeah, no, he's from Good Luck Charlie or whatever.
I can't. No, but she was an Employee of the Month, and he was too.
Well, then I also forget, like she had a very like above average acting career for a pop star. Like she really, if she had wanted to, she could have like really just become a full-time actress. She was very multi-talented.
Yes, she is multi-talented.
Yeah, and so now first of all, I found the Nick stuff to be so fascinating because when you think of the timeline, she really met him when he was everything of the sort, and like within a matter of years he was nothing of the sort and she was everything of the sort, and like that balance of power and money and success really played a part in their relationship. And honestly, like in the beginning when they were just talking about like them getting engaged and like married, like I loved them so much. They really were like America's sweethearts.
Yeah, but then they grew into the people they were meant to be, and those two people weren't meant to be together.
Yeah, but it's just so crazy to me. Like, I think the craziest thing in Hollywood is like the girl that Nick Lachey just like rebounded with ended up being like the love of his life, which it just like doesn't happen for you. And it's weird when she's talking about her and Nick, like they were doing TRL, and like they were interviewed by Vanessa like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And then the John Mayer stuff was just crazy. Like, and I feel like it confirmed like what we knew about him. He's allegedly he's reformed, but like back in the day he was like a womanizer and a piece of shit, and he really just like played with her and like really tortured her just so he could write music, which is so fucked up. And then at the end it was like, was he also having sex with Jennifer Aniston during that time period? Like it was never made clear.
Damn.
But yeah,
I know that like he says that he's different now and he goes on Watch What Happens Live and is like, a funny guy, but like in that book, like he is not the guy.
And I find it so interesting that she had such a reaction to him calling her sexual napalm, which is because she's so rooted in her faith. And then I just remember like everyone talking about her like virginity. And it really, that really is what she was. Like it wasn't this, coordinated marketing thing. Like she was this girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the stuff about her body, like just obviously made me love her so much. Like that chili cook-off thing is just, it's actually crazy. I know it feels like in a lot of ways like we've made no progress, but something like that like really wouldn't happen today. And I feel like grateful. It really opened my eyes. Like maybe we have moved forward as a society a little bit, but I also feel like her open struggle with like body image paved the way for her to have $1 billion company. Like nobody really wants to buy clothing from someone who's perfect, like because nobody's perfect. So she became this like relatable person, and I actually think it ended up benefiting her in a lot of ways, but I can imagine what it was like to be so impressionable and like work so hard to be skinny and everyone just keeps calling you fat.
Yeah.
So I just thought the book was full of goodies, like celebrity goodies. Her family life is so interesting. I always assumed she and Ashley had a strained relationship and there was like some sort of jealousy, but no, they are as like tight-knit as families can come.
Yeah, she has a great family. I love that she brings everyone from her childhood into her career now. Like she's surrounded by people that she's known forever and that she loves. And she's just like totally, it's an amazing book, like, because she's so amazing and she's just not who you would expect her to be. And I feel like she's gone through so much in her career, but where she is now is just like the best place to be.
Well, Eric and sober, and she talked a lot about her struggle with booze and pills, and she even referenced going on Ellen totally drunk. And obviously I put the book down and I watched the interview, and I just have to say, in the book, Jessica Simpson was like, I want to apologize to Ellen and to the audience, like that was not cool. And I know Ellen was just like being tough on me. And when I watched the interview, like it was unsalvageable. Like she was so drunk and wasn't making any sense. It was just like giggling all over the place. But, you know, Ellen could have like helped a little bit more. Like she just kept pointing out like dumb things or like weird sounds coming out of Jessica's mouth. Like really wanted to highlight like, hi, you're drunk. Like she wasn't, not that it's her job to help, but like, I don't know, like you could have minimized it a little bit. And Jessica referred to it in the book as Ellen giving her tough love. But honestly, like I thought it was fucking bitchy. Like I thought she was really making more of a spectacle out of it. Not that it ever would have gone by unnoticed. I don't know. I just watched Ellen in the interview and it was actually, well, not shocking because we know Ellen, but it was disappointing.
Oh, I'm going to watch it. That's one thing that I didn't watch while I read the book.
Yeah, no, it was great. I also just can't believe that she was invited to the Met Gala, like, and she took John Mayer.
Yeah, those pictures are iconic.
No, honestly, the Jessica Simpson collection, like, needs a table at the Met Gala. Like, she needs to be there again.
She does, but she doesn't care about that stuff, and that's why you love her.
No, because you know what? She's rich, honey, rich, and that's all she cares about. And she has a man
that like loves her. What more could you need? She has wonderful children. It's all good.
No, she's really like the ultimate success story, and you might not think that because she did kind of fade into the background a little bit when she was so hot for so long, but like that's, you can't live in the spotlight forever. And I feel like she found a really good balance after a while of like family, fame, success, fortune. I think that she is actually like a role model for a lot of people.
Definitely role model for me for sure.
I love her. So really recommend the book. And thank you, Jackie, for making me read it because you were totally
for forcing it down your throat.
No, you were right. You were right. I'm not above admitting when I'm wrong.
Okay. Okay, so I read 2 books as well. The first one being André Leon Talley's, because I wanted to read, obviously I love to read and I love a celeb memoir, but we are also continuing our education on hearing from Black creators, storytellers, authors, celebrities. And so I actually thought that these 2 books were so perfect to read right now because obviously they're entertaining and enjoyable, but they talk about a lot about race and racism in their respective industries. So I'll start with André Leon Talley because I thought it was so fascinating. It was just like a like I can't, obviously the book was just text, but like it was beautiful. The descriptions, he talked a lot about like his start in fashion in like the 70s and 80s, you know, like Halston, Givenchy, Yves Saint Laurent, his friendship with Carl, which I found fascinating. Obviously, a lot of people talk about the friendship with Anna Wintour, and she's been in the press a lot lately, so I wanted to hear what he had to say about her. And honestly, for the most part, he had glowing things to say about her. They came up together at Vogue. I mean, not glowing, but like they started together at Vogue and they worked together for, I think, about 30 years. I think the way that it ended wasn't great, but she's just like business. Mm-hmm. But he just had so many like interesting factoids and stories. And there was a lot about what I found to be interesting. There was a lot about like the past and, you know, I think what they would consider like the glory days of fashion, which were more the 80s. But not so much about like what's going on now and the supermodels now and social media and like, but I think that's just because like that was his heyday. But I also felt like it was kind of a commentary on the fact that like Vogue isn't it right now, you know? And he actually said that Vogue started going down the tubes the minute they moved into One World Trade Center, because that was just like not the place for them to be, which I found to be interesting. But ultimately, it was a great book. I feel like I've always known who André Leon Talley is, but I didn't know that much about him. So hearing about his childhood and the way that he was raised and then coming to New York and the success that he had and like experiences of racism in the fashion industry and his
Right.
thoughts
What did
on.
he say? What
So
did he say about like being Black in fashion?
Well, like for a very long time, he was the most powerful Black person in fashion until the new editor-in-chief of British Vogue, Edward Enninful, came up, and that was in 2018. So I think that he like loves fashion and loved his place in fashion, but like would love to see the industry like be more inclusive. And so his commentary on that I found to be really, really interesting and smart. And I just like, it like broke my heart when he like had these stories of prejudices that he experienced or rumors that people had started about him, that were rooted in like the fact that he was Black and in this industry. So ultimately I thought it was a great read. If you have any interest in fashion or celebrity memoirs, I would highly recommend it. I think it took me about a day to read, but I also was just like,
finish it.
I was reading just straight. So it was good. It was compelling. And then Gabrielle Union's book, I loved. I think I also finished it in a day. Cause yeah, we were there for like 2 days, but it was so good. She is just like the coolest girl. She talks a lot about her childhood and just like, growing up and like, being with boys and this and that, but she talks a lot about being like just a Black girl in the world, a Black girl in Hollywood, like even having like her hair and being on the set of white movies and like what that meant for her. And just these small things that we probably don't think about, but that are really important and conversations that we need to be having. And she like, I thought the way that everything was written, like I felt like I was getting a major education in a lot of things that I did not previously know about. And also there was a chapter in there about Prince, because he used to have these parties that were like these mixers. The way she described it, it was really interesting. So that's where she met like her husband at one of those parties, but he would have these parties for like, people in the entertainment industry who are at the top of whatever they're doing, but also like a lot of Black people, so they could meet each other and, learn from each other. And she said when Prince died, there was this whitewashing of his epic parties in the media where it's like, and people would beg Justin Timberlake to sing, but she was like being there. It's almost as if it was like Andy Warhol's factory. That's what someone else might have described as, where it's just like this meeting of minds. And also André Talley used to work like for Andy Warhol. So it was like, oh, now I know what that is. And that's happening over here. And it was just so, she just has such a great take on everything. And also she talked a lot about, I know we've been saying on this show, like, we don't know what it's like to be like a Black man in this country and deal with police officers, but she was talking about raising Black children, like, and so many of the conversations she's had to have with them, not even about the police, but like when you go to a friend's house for a sleepover, like do not leave the group, do not ever be alone, because if something goes missing, like they're going to blame you. And that's not something I've ever thought about. And so she's just like having all these conversations or sharing, things that go on in her home. And it was really powerful.
I just love her.
I love her. I've always loved her, but like you also just got the feeling that like she is just a cool girl, like.
Yeah, and I feel like I get the vibe from her, like she just has it figured out, like everything, and I just like want to be with her and her family.
Yeah, but you know what? I think what she says a lot in the book is like it took time. She's married before Dwayne, and it wasn't good, and there was like times in her career that weren't great, and so it's all about how you go through it.
Right, and you got to finish strong. Not that she's like finishing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, and then she's on the cover of Self in a photo taken by her
stepdaughter.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. I actually might read that in 4 months. So the next time I need to read a book.
I think you would love the Gabrielle Union book.
By the way, you know what I realized, because I've been reading more? I think I just read more in the summer. I'm not really a winter reader.
Okay. You're a seasonal reader.
But I don't want a Kindle. Like I like a physical book. So I'll have to wait for hers to come in the mail.
Okay. Do it.
Now we're going to recap our Toast movie of the week, which I just fucking loved. Like, okay, so we watched Just Mercy last week, and then we're also going to assign our movie for next week when we're done. Just Mercy, starring Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx, was like, I actually didn't have words. I sobbed the entire time. And we said this with Hidden Figures, like, probably my favorite types of movie are the ones that are based on true events, and then at the end you get to learn more, see more. They both looked so much like the characters that they played, like with the hair and everything. It was so well done. It was, and then I just learned so much about Equal Justice Initiative and Bryan Stevenson, who is incredible. And I loved it so much. Like, it was very painful at times. Like, the scene where Johnny D's cellmate Herb was put to death was indescribable. I don't even know how it was awful. Like, it was the worst thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah. No, that scene got me. Like, I mean, I was crying the entire time. It was painful to watch at times. Ultimately, like, it's a pretty happy ending for Johnny D and his family. And then, you know, it gets you going on this journey of what the Equal Justice Initiative has done. And they share a lot of other stories, like his other cellmate who was in there for 30 years until it was...
Who was innocent.
Right.
Who was on death row for 30 fucking years. And when they showed the real footage of him walking out of the courthouse and hugging his family, like, I just about...
Yeah. No, I had already lost it at that point. I can't remember the last time, like, I cried so much during a movie. I know a lot of people are recommending a lot of movies right now, and like so many of them are so educational and pertinent to the situation. But like, this movie, I think, is the number one, and there's a reason why it's the one that is free to stream on all streaming services.
It'll change your life. Like, I knew that there was a problem, and they say, like, mass incarceration is modern day slavery. And when he drove up to the courthouse, the jail for the first time, and there was all these black men in, like, prison jumpsuits working in the field, it really was like a flashback. Like, it looked like it was...
I thought the same thing.
The early... It was insane. And the movie, I always knew, like, of course the justice system doesn't always get it right, but, like, to make such a grave error multiple times with literally, it wasn't even hard to figure out that Johnny D didn't do it. Like, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, of course, not every time is going to be right, but, like, it wasn't even possible that he killed this person. And, like, he sat on death row. And to me, the biggest disgrace was his roommate, Ray, 30 fucking years. Like, it was infuriating, like, just to see such a gross miscarriage of justice and such obvious fucking racism from these fucking people in Alabama. Like, it was infuriating.
Yeah, it was infuriating. Like,
and really made you think about
how hard Bryan
capital
Stevenson
punishment
had to work to make what is so obvious clear to people. And then even when they did the first trial, like, to just get a retrial, and it was like, it was all there. And then 1 month later it comes down and there's not enough. Like, fuck you.
Fuck you. I totally agree. And, you know, it's like, I thought a lot about that guy, Ralph, who gave false testimony. And it's like, can you fucking blame him? Look what they did to him.
Yeah.
Sent him to death row. Like, it's just so corrupt just to get a conviction. And then at the end of the day, it's like, justice for the girl who was shot, you know?
Right.
Where is the murderer? Like, why don't you work just as hard to find the real murder as you're going to try to frame a black man? Like, stop. It was infuriating.
Yeah, it was truly infuriating. But I was so glad to learn about the work of Bryan Stevenson, and to continue learning about it. And obviously, I thought of Kim, and that is, like, what she is trying to do. And I have even more, like, more of an appreciation, understanding, and, like, understanding. Truly, it's like, that's what we're trying to do with these movies that we're watching, is just, like, learn and get our heads out of our own bubble. And, like, I really honestly find these like, especially this movie, it was an education in something that I thought I knew something about, but it's so much more.
1,000%. And it just offered like a unique opportunity to learn about Equal Justice Initiative, which I might not have known about, which is in the movie, and it's a real fucking organization. And I donated to it last night. Like, and I just felt like I just wanted them to keep going. Over 140 people they got off death row. Like, that's incredible. Like, that's unheard of. Like,
yeah,
organizations like that like deserve to be in the spotlight. They deserve to be spoken about. They deserve to be donated to, because it's really important. Like, it's just, it was such a good movie. And like, I was mad that I hadn't seen it earlier, but I feel like it changed the way that I saw the world for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Also, I haven't watched 13th yet on Netflix, but I intend to. But I heard that Bryan Stevenson is in that a lot because he is like an expert on the subject. So I'm
fabulous.
Yeah, that'll be great to watch. But our next Toast movie of the week, which I haven't seen. Have you seen?
Mm-mm.
Great. I've heard such good things. Is BlacKkKlansman.
Yes, Adam Driver, Spike Lee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fabulous. I'm not sure where it's available, but I'm sure it's somewhere.
Yeah,
and
it's new.
I'm looking forward to it as well. It was Oscar buzzy, so now I'll know what people are talking about at the Oscars. And it came really highly recommended, so thanks to everyone who recommended it. And we're going to recap it on Friday.
Yes, we are going to recap it on Friday.
And every Friday, we are going to be highlighting Black-owned businesses, and we were going to do that today, but we're going to push it to tomorrow because we are working with a fabulous brand, and we just need to work out all the little kinks. So that'll be tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. Okay, well, I think
is that
that's
all she wrote?
She wrote this jackhammer is just in my ear.
No, sorry. She wanted me to tell you Claudia's special comes out in 8 days. June 30th, my comedy special, my debut comedy special, my first comedy special. I worked so hard on it. You could pre-order it right now on iTunes. You could tap the link in my bio on Girl With No Job, or just search Disgraced Queen in the iTunes store. It is my baby, my pride and joy. I would really appreciate you guys purchasing if you can, and maybe leaving a review. 8 days. I can't fucking wait. I love you guys. And now that's all she wrote. Thank you so much for listening to The Morning Toast, the Millennial Morning Show, where we go live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. So we're watching us on YouTube. Please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. So it's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places where we listen to podcasts. Find us The Morning Toast, leave a 5-star review about a beautiful Sunday is where we are. We love you guys. Have a great day.
Bye.